you go back to the table that we did in the previous lesson. Right? First, your numerator there is a reciprocal for sine. Okay? So what you can do, first thing, is just to write the whole question. I'm going to rewrite it as cosec of 45 degrees over sine 90 degrees times tan 60 degrees. Okay? My suggestion, rewrite cosec in terms of sine. So that's 1 over sine 45 degrees. Okay? Then you have a division line there. Right? I can straight away simplify that sine 90. Now, sine 90, you can use your calculator for that one if you want. It won't make a big difference because the answer is a 1. Okay? Sine 90 is a what? Is a 1. So, where there is sine 90, you put 1. Right? Then, tan 60 degrees is what? You get square root of 3. Okay? No calculator. Okay? By the way, this sine 90, you can know it by heart. I know it by heart, but of course, it also has to do with experience. Okay? But over time, you are going to know it. Then, here, your main division line is this one here. So what you can do if you want to avoid unnecessary mistakes, you can introduce the division sign, and then your sine 45 is equal to 1 over square root of 2. So I can write that as 1 over square root of 2 divided by, I'm replacing this division line by a division sign. Okay? And everything else remains as it is. Okay? Then 1 times square root of 3, it's equal to square root of 3. Okay? So I can write here square root of 3. If I want, I can put 1 there. Okay? Then, here, you are dividing 1 by a fraction. Okay? Now, you can also replace this division line by a division sign. Don't touch this for now. But if you want, you can. You can convert that division to multiplication. Okay? But for now, I'm not going to touch it. Okay? Then the next step here, is going to be 1 divided by 1 over square root of 2 divided by 1 over square root of, divided by square root of 3 over 1. Right? Now here, you can have 1 over 1 times square root of 2 over 1. Okay?
I'm confused.
Yeah, same.
Where did that 1 come from?
Which one?
How did you get 2?
No, remember there is a 1 on top here. Divided by a fraction which is 1 over square root of 2.
Okay, wait, so what happened to cosec then?
I converted the cosec to 1 over sine 45.
That's what it is.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, then you must, okay, Anil, you must say, sir, I'm not seeing what you're writing. Right. Then I will move a little bit. I'm not transparent, remember. So when I'm standing there, I might block you, but you have to say, to remind me that I need to step aside so that you can see what I'm writing.
Yes, sir. Please explain the whole thing.
Before I speak about it again, number 1, have you been going over your work?
Yeah.
Okay, the answer is yes, then let's carry on. Right. First thing, yes.
So, isn't there a 1 in front of the sign always?
Alright, wait, I want to start afresh.
Okay.
I said, because I'm aware that simplifying this without a calculator is a big problem. Okay? Now, if you want to get all full marks, okay, you are not supposed to use a calculator. You are supposed to show all your working out. So, here, my suggestion is, Okay, this is my suggestion. It's not the only way of doing it. Okay, you can convert the cosec 45 to what? 1 over sine 45. But remember, the cosec 45 is a numerator. So when you convert it to sine, that 1 over sine 45 is a numerator and it's a fraction. Okay? So your main division line is going to be that. Sine 90 is 1 times 60 squared of 3. Okay? Okay, you must download a scientific calculator if you don't have one and put it on your phone. I hope you are aware that you are in the 21st century. You can download a scientific calculator. Yes, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. If you don't have a physical calculator like the one that she has, like this one, or any other calculator that some of you have, if you don't have one, download one from the Google App Store and then put a scientific calculator on your phone. Okay, that's Carol. I'll allow you to use it if you don't have a calculator.
During an exam.
So not the exam. I'm talking about during the lesson. Not the exam. You're supposed to have a normal calculator. Yeah, but for now he doesn't have. He doesn't have a calculator. Where is it? Yeah, then take it out. Okay. Can you allow me to get on? Please don't waste my time on these things now. Alright, so here 1 over sine 45 divided by 1 times square root of 3. 1 times square root of 3 gives you what? Square root of 3. Okay? But here, what I did was, this is my main division line. So I introduced division in place of this division line here. That's why I used a different color, so that you can see what I'm doing. This division line I replaced by a division sign. And I multiplied 1 by square root of 3, and I got square root of 3. The denominator there is going to be a 1. Then, this 1 over sine 45, okay, it's a fraction. But sine 45 is also a fraction. So, I put 1. This 1 here is that 1. Okay? Then, what is sine 45? It's 1 over square root of 2. So, we have another division line that we have to convert to a division sign, which is that one. Okay? So, we end up having 1 divided by 1 over square root of 2. Is that clearer now? You can't tell me you still can't get it. Because the basic idea is just converting a division line to a division sign. That's all. And your grade 8 and 9 teachers, they were supposed to have mentioned that and taught you. Maybe they did and you probably didn't care. I'm converting a division line to a division sign. That's all. Yes.
So I understand the concept. So I just don't understand why it's taken to a series of 2.
What?
Why 2? Like, because it's one of the reasons.
It's the special angle.
Yes, in the previous lessons, didn't I show a table on special angles? So what's your question?
Okay, I get it. I get it now that you explained the special angles.
Oh, the special angle one.
Yeah, now I
No,
understand.
sir, I understand.
All right, go back to the table on special angles. Go back to the table on special angles. And also, listen, I sent you a PDF of the work on the group.
Yes.
Okay? So you have no excuse. What's your excuse then?
I see it.
If I was allowed to give you a hiding, I was going to do it. All right. Then, from here, I converted the division line to a division sign. Then, because sine 45 is a fraction, it's 1 over square root of 2, I converted that division line to another division sign. Please, if you want to make things easier for yourself when you're dealing with fractions, if you have a division line, okay, if the numerator or the denominator is a fraction, convert the division line to a division sign. You won't go wrong if you do that, if you do it that way. And then you need to convert the division sign to multiplication. Okay? Your calculator.
So you got a 1 day in the front of the 1 over.
This one is this one here. It's 1 divided. This divided by 1 over square root. Alright, from here now, we can convert this division sign to a multiplication. So if I do that, you end up getting 1 over 1. The 1 over 1 is coming from the fact that the denominator of any real number is a 1. Okay? The denominator of any real number is a 1. Okay? That's why I put this one. That's why I'm putting that one. So I'll convert my division sign, the first one, to multiplication. Once I convert to multiplication, then I have to swap this numerator and the denominator here. So you get square root of 2 over 1. Okay? Then I still have another division sign here. I need to convert it to what? Multiplication. Then I'll interchange these two. So we end up having times 1 over square root of 3. Are you following?
Yes.
Because this is gonna come up in a test in the near future. And then if you're not paying attention now, you write this research what I didn't talk about. So once you have got that, you multiply the numerators and then you multiply the denominators separately. So 1 times square root of 2 times 1, that will give you square root of 2. 1 times square root of 3, that will give you square root of 3. Okay? Now, take out your calculator. Put this in your calculator. Okay? I hope, let me show you because this part here, you need to know how to do it using your calculator. Right? You must bring your calculator every day. I don't want to be forced to end up making a call to your parents and tell them that your calculator is not bringing, your child is not bringing a calculator to the school. I don't want to go as far. So, what is cosec 45? It's 1 over sine 45. Okay? So, what do you do there? You can just put the fraction option, then you put 1, okay, divided by sine, okay? Yes, because cosec 45 is 1 over sine 45. So, you put 45, okay? Then the next sign. So I've dealt with the cosec 45, which is the same as what? 1 over sine 45. I'm using a calculator to check my final answer. Then I have a division line here. The good thing is I can convert this division line to a division sign. Fortunately, your calculator knows BODMAS because it was programmed already. So this, I'm going to put divided. Okay? So I have put 1 over sine 45. Then divided, okay, by what? If I want, I can put this sine 90 times tan 60. I'm going to do that because we are dividing this 1 over sine 45 by sine 90 times what? That's sine 90. Okay? Because we are using a calculator, so one the calculator to do everything. So you can put times there. Okay? Times what? Tan 60. Your calculator knows BODMAS because it was programmed that way. Then you press equals. It gives you that. Okay?
Yeah, but
Now it's giving you square root of 6. Okay? Why? Why is it giving square root of 6? Now my suggestion here is to put brackets here. Because if you don't put brackets, you might get a slightly different answer. So put brackets, put that sine 90 and the what? The tan 60 inside brackets and see what you get. You will get that. Okay, that's the correct one. Okay, so if you don't put the sine 90 and the tan 60 inside brackets, you know what your calculator will think? it will think that the answer you get from 1 over sine 45 is going to divide sine 90 first. It follows what? Odd mass. So put the sine 90 and the tan 60 inside brackets. Okay?
So then
All right? So this is the correct answer from the calculator. If you don't put brackets, you get an incorrect answer. That's why you have to be a master of that calculator that you got. The calculator will give you an output based on the input. If the input is not correct, then you get a wrong output.
So what are the two different answers there?
Okay, there's a difference between the first one where
no,
I
I
didn't,
also get the same answer.
where I didn't, no, you can't get the same answer. No, you can't get the same answer. But it's very important for you to know this. Make sure you pay attention. Now I'm going to explain. The first one, it's so easy. 4.2.1. So you have tan x is equal to 2,01. We want x, but the restriction here is that x must be between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Okay? So you drop down the x on the left, you bring in arctan, that's 2,01. Now, you're supposed to round off to 1 decimal place. It's very important for you to read the question and identify the instructions in the question. So the instruction is that your x must be to 1 decimal place. Okay? Then you bring in your calculator. Shift tan of what? Of 2,01. Then you get equals. That's 63,5 degrees to 1 decimal place. So that's 63,5 degrees. And then you are done. This 63,5 is between 0 and 90 degrees. Yes.
Oh, yeah, not to use the calculator later.
Yeah, because we are finding an angle. Okay. There is no way out you can find angles without a calculator. Okay. If you are finding angles, you have to use a calculator. Remember, I told that in the past, before calculators were advanced, there were tables. That was in the 80s, out of the 80s, 70s, and going down. When the calculators became more advanced in the 90s, early 2000s, up to now, you just have to use the calculator. Okay? So here, there is no instruction that you should not use the calculator, so you have to use it. Okay? It's only when the question specifies that without using a calculator, determine this or evaluate this without using a calculator. So for this one, you have to use a calculator. Okay? 4.22. I hope you see the way that I'm writing it. Hey, look here. Look on the board. You see the way that Mr. Chiponda is writing it. From tan x to tan x equal to 2,01, dropping the tan in there, you've got x here, then right here, shift tan or up tan of 2,01, then you get your answer. This is how you're supposed to do it. If you write something else, I don't know who your math teacher is. Okay? Then the next one, you've got 5 cos x plus 2 equal to 4. There is no need to get nervous when you see a question like this. Your heartbeat must not increase because you solve it. Okay? It's not difficult. What you need to know here is that the 5 cos x is 110. The 5 cos x is 110. The plus 2 is a second term. So the left-hand side is a binomial. Okay? So when you're solving a question like this, first thing, you take the 2. It's not inside brackets. So you take the 2 to the right first. Okay? Then you have 5 cos x equal to 4 minus 2. That gives you a 2. Okay? Yes?
Oh, okay. So I got it wrong because I took the 5 and I put it on this one on the right hand side.
How did you take the 12 to the right?
No, so I thought because we did the same thing with the 2, we can do the same thing with the 5.
Yeah, but there's multiplication here, there's addition. So you do the opposite. If there's addition, then you subtract the number on both sides. If there's multiplication, then you divide. Here it means 5 times cos x. So the opposite of multiplication, division. Okay? If you listen to what I'm saying, I'm telling you, when you get a question like this, you won't be scared. You'll be smiling. Because you know what to do. Okay? Then here, how do you isolate the cos x? You divide both sides by 5. So this becomes 5 cos x all over 5 is equal to 2 over 5. It's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. Then you can see that these two cancel. So you'll be left with cos x equal to 2 over 5. Exactly this step here, that's where we got here. We started from there. So the first one was already simplified. This one you have to simplify it yourself. Then you bring in your calculator. Okay, so that becomes x equal to arctan of 2 over 5. Okay, so you bring your calculator, shift, then cos, okay, of what? 2 over 5. Okay, or you can say 0.4 if you want, and then you get 66.4 degrees. Okay, so your answer here for x will be 66.4 degrees. Okay, it's not difficult. Okay, and to add some cherry on top, I'm making a video. The video is available for you to watch again.
So what's your YouTube name?
I don't expect you to ask me that question now. So the next one I'll do it on the next page. So that's cosec x over 2 is equal to 3. Okay, now this one here, there's more than one way of approaching, but my suggestion would be to do it this way. Okay, it will be more simpler to do it this way. Don't touch the cosec for now. Right? The denominator there is a 1. Cross multiply. Once you do that, you get cosec x is equal to 6. Okay? Then this cosec x, you can now write it as 1 over sine x. That's equal to 6 over 1. Okay? Then you can also cross multiply again. You get 1 equal to 6 sine x. Okay? Then you divide both sides by 6. Right? I'm going to tell you something very important that I didn't tell you, but I'll tell you just now. So you end up getting 1 over 6 is equal to sine x. Now you can write that as sine x is equal to 1 over 6. Okay. Before I carry on, I want to tell you now because I might forget because I have a lot of things in my head. All right. From now, what time is it? It's 10 past, okay, almost 10 past 12 on the 30th of September, 2020, right? You need to know that the ratios of sine and cosine are always between -1 and 1. Okay? So you need to add this somewhere in your book. So -1 is less than or equal. I'll use theta to represent my angle. Okay? That's very important because for a question like this, okay, if you get, say, sine x equal to 6, it's wrong. It's wrong straight away. Okay? Your ratio, as long as you've got sine on its own on the left, the ratio on the right hand side must be between minus